So today I've got this Sanyo TV. It's got half a picture that's distorted. I'm just going to show you a little trick I came up with to maybe not permanently remedy this situation, but temporarily repair this, get it moving along a little bit better. Anyhow, this is a 42-inch Sanyo. I've already got the I've taken the screws off to remove the cover around it, as well as I've taken the screws off of the metal frame around the panel. These sets come apart incredibly easy, so they're really nice to work with. Alright, so with the cover off, like I said, we can remove the trim from the front of the TV. I've already taken all the screws out around the LCD panel, so the metal frame can be just simply lifted up and taken off very carefully. And then I'll show you up close what I found here. Alright, so I've got the set. We're looking at the top left-hand corner of the screen right now. You can see the tab that's bonded to the glass. I don't know if you can see the small little IC that's actually bonded to the ribbon cable, but if I press down lightly on that, the picture actually straightens out very nicely. Picture's good when I'm pressing on it, picture's bad when I release it. So I come up with it's a really cheap solution. I actually got the parts from a used tire store to repair this TV. And here's the parts. This is actually pieces of an old inner tube that I've cut. So they're just about the size of that little tab in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this circuit board right here. I'm going to take the whole circuit board, take the screws out of it. There's 3 screws here. So I'm going to remove all 3 of these screws. I'm going to flip the circuit board over. So what we want to do is disconnect the power from the TV, obviously. So let me pull the plug on it real quick. I'm just going to open this connector and move the cable from the T-con so it's physically disconnected. I'll take out those 3 screws. Alright, so I've got a piece of Scotch tape at the ready here. I'm going to flip this back very carefully, and I'm just going to put a piece of tape on that board to keep it flipped up, and then I'm just going to take a piece of this rubber and I'm going to put it under each one of these just to add a little shim to this. Just that simple. Now you want to be very careful not to put too much pressure on this board whatsoever. Now when I press down on it, there's very little room, so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put another piece across the top of it that big metal frame is actually going to put pressure on it when I put it back together. We'll see how that goes. So I want to show you the inside of the LCD panel. It has these little dimples, and they are actually to put pressure on those little IC chips on those ribbon cables. So, and they come up to about the same level as where the screw is, within about 1 millimeter. So like I said, when we put these little pieces on top right here, you can see where the screw level is. It's actually going to sandwich these things in here. And I'm going to use I'm just going to put a piece of Scotch tape over each one to hold that down. So let me do that and we'll see what happens. And so there's all the tabs with little rubber shims added to them now. I've as well done the other side. So both sides are taken care of, so we shouldn't have any problems. Although primarily on these sets, it always seems to be the very end 2 tabs, this end and this end, that we have problems with. And I never seem to have problems in the middle, but I always do them to be safe. So now I'll put the frame back on it and we'll see what happens. So I've got the frame back together on it now, and before, when I tapped up in this corner, we could get some lines in the picture. Now I don't see anything at all. So like I said, I've added shims on the top and the bottom, those little rubber spacers, which is just a piece of cut up inner tube from an old tire. And I've had pretty good success on these sanyos, and I've had a lot of sanyos with these screens fail too. I'd say in the past year I've probably had 15 or 20 different sanyos with the same exact failure, and I've done a lot of these. They seem to hold quite well. I'm sure it's going to fail again. It's just a kind of a short-term solution. I mean, the only way to truly repair it is to have that tab replaced on the LCD panel, but that's not practical anymore. And the cost of replacement on an LCD panel is beyond the cost of the TV, so not practical once again. So let me put this all back together and we'll stand it up and see how it goes. So I got the TV all back together. It seems to be working just fine now. No distortion on that side of the picture. And just wanted to show you the model on this one. It happens to be a DP46819. Other than that, these Sanyo TVs, they appear to be quite reliable sets. We hardly have any other problems. Occasionally a main board will fail, but that seems to be about it. We'll just have to run this one and see what happens. Hopefully this will save a couple more TVs from the landfill, or as the case may be, this day, the recycler. Once again, thanks for watching.